Hello, I'm Sheikah X, and thank you for tuning into my channel. Sheikah is an acronym that stands for Communicating Holiness and Kind Affirmation with the Torah. The X is for anything that is wrong or not based on biblical principles. So this is the conclusion, part 4, and as you can tell by the title, I will be talking about can women teach, and dealing with the other aspect of 1 Timothy 2:12, which is talking about let the woman learn in silence. I'm going to back up to verse 11 and then also read verse 12. So basically, it's going to deal with Paul talking about a woman remaining silent. What does that mean? So let's read the key scripture first, and then I'm going to back up to verse 11 and read that. Okay, in 1 Timothy chapter 2, verses 11 and 12, this says, in verse 11, it says, let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. Now, when Paul says for a woman to keep silent, what does that really mean? If we are in the process of learning, can we teach at the same time that we're learning? So this video is going to be very short because it's not complicated. It only makes sense that if you are in a process of learning, you are not able to teach because you are learning at that point. So when he says that the woman is to learn in silence, when we learn something, does that mean that we take the knowledge that we learn and keep it to ourselves? No, but he's saying that if we are students, if we are learning, then we need to take the time to learn first, then we teach. It's not a permanent thing. So if we have a student, it's just like if you're in the first grade. If you're a student, you cannot be a teacher. You have to go through the proper educational background in order to be in a position to teach. Now, if you remember, Paul was talking about there are people who were teaching, but they didn't understand what they were teaching. So it seems to me that this is not a permanent thing. It seems to me that Paul is saying that once you are in a position where you are able to understand the scriptures and you're able to have the full knowledge of what is necessary, then you are able to teach. But just to teach that a woman is to remain silent does not make sense, because what is the purpose of learning if you're not going to share what you've learned with other people? So, and it's like there are people who are going around saying that women can't teach anyone. They cannot teach men. They can only teach children. They can only teach other women. And we know that that's not true. That makes absolutely no sense, because if a woman is teaching her son, what else is the son growing up to be except for a man? So there are some scriptures that we're going to look at where we can see that there are men in the Bible who are going by the words of wisdom that their mothers gave them. Not their fathers, but their mothers. And also we can read in Proverbs where it says that a woman, it tells a son to keep the Torah of his mother and to also heed to the instruction of the father. So it seems to me that from the Bible in Proverbs 1:6, we are to keep the Torah that is taught by our mothers, and the instruction comes from the father. And when you look at the Hebrew word, the AH at the end of the words indicates that it is a feminine noun. So when you take the word Torah, that's a feminine word. Torah is feminine because of the AH. So if Elohim did not want women involved into teaching, we all know that women love to talk. I think that research was done and they said that women actually use more words in a conversation than men do because we just love to talk. So why would Elohim give us the gift where women love to talk so much just so we can shut our mouths and not spread the gospel? So anyway, we're going to look at a few more scriptures, and then this is going to be part 4, which is concluding this. So we're going to conclude that it gets the X. Women can teach, and women can teach men, women, children, anybody. And this by no means is the end of this. This is just the end of my analysis, or this is the end of me analyzing 1 Timothy 2:12. Now, if I get new revelations, I definitely will upload more videos on it, but this is the conclusion of this. And if there's anyone out here and you have something to add, then leave a comment. And, if there's some points that maybe I missed, then, let me know. But it just seems to me that, the woman is to remain silent as long as she is learning. And then when you're in a position and you have full knowledge, then you're able to spread your knowledge. But it is not like it is a mandatory thing where for the rest of your life, like you can never speak. That's ridiculous. So if we can learn from an ant, if we can learn, if a donkey can speak to a prophet, then I don't see why he couldn't use a woman to spread the gospel, to bring more souls to Yeshua. So with that, we're going to end this video, and I hope you have a good week, and shalom. But they're lying. They're lying. They're just lying to people saying that women can't teach. They're liars. Like, don't even listen to them. They need to be educated. So if you don't want women teaching, then maybe if you men would teach the right stuff, we wouldn't have to open our mouths and we wouldn't have to say anything if y'all would teach the right stuff. But you leave us no choice when you sitting up here spreading lies. Listen to me. Listen to the Torah. There's nothing in the Torah that says that women can't teach. You totally can teach. They're liars. So with that being said, I'm out.